Hello, my name is Officer Stephen Schultz, Sergeant with Eagle Protective Group. I am here today to talk with all of you about gun safety. See, I'm the father of 3 boys. I work with guns, I have hobbies with guns, I've enjoyed guns my entire life. I was taught by my grandfathers and my father about guns and how to safely use them and how to safely store them. Now that I'm a father of 3, I have been teaching my sons what I know about gun safety and what to do and not do around guns. I'm here today to tell y'all a little bit about how to keep your guns safe. On the table before me, I will go in more detail about what I have, but I have several different types of locks, lock boxes, and different styles of guns you may or may not encounter in your lifetime. Here I have a Makarov 9mm. It's a small style semi-auto pistol. To unload this gun, you pull the magazine and rack the chamber. Once you've done that, you know that the gun is safe to handle. If you hold it back and pull the trigger down, the gun stays locked open. This informs that anybody that sees it that this gun is safe to handle. Whenever you come across any kind of firearm, be it a pistol, rifle, or shotgun, the first thing you should do is always assume that it is loaded and ready to fire. So handle all guns, no matter what they are, with safety. Once you've done that, you can then take your, well, this is one style of lock here. You take your key, insert it in the lock, and twist. This unlocks the cable. You feed the cable down through the breech and out the magazine chamber. You put the lock back together, and now the gun is unable to fire. You can't reload it, the magazine won't fit back in it, and the gun is completely safe until you are ready to shoot it again. Here I have a SIG 9mm. Very similar to the first one we saw, but just a little bit different. This one does not come with a safety, so this one you have to be especially careful with. This gun is made for law enforcement and is ready to fire at all times. Again, you remove the magazine, rack it, hold the chamber back a couple times. This makes sure that the gun is clear and safe. Again, you chamber it back, put your locking mechanism in place, and the slide stays back. This one you can also use the cable lock. Again, you feed it down through the breech and out through the magazine chamber. And now it's locked and safe. It can't be used until you unlock it and reload it. Another type of safety lock that I'd like to talk about is the trigger lock. What the trigger lock allows you to do is it allows you to keep your gun loaded but unchambered. You take this key, you untwist it to the point where the mechanism lets go. You then take the 2 different sides of the lock, place one on one side of the trigger, as so, and place the other side on the other side of the trigger, like so, sandwiching the trigger between the lock clasps. You then tighten the trigger locking mechanism down till it's nice and snug. This, and then you take the key away. Now the gun is loaded, ready to go, but you are unable to fire it. People cannot grab and hold the trigger. This is one safety step that you can take if you're in such a situation where you need to get to your gun quickly but don't have time to reload it, rechamber it, ready to go. This just allows you to do that just a little bit faster. Now, both of these type of locking systems work on many different platforms. They work on pistols, they work on rifles, they work the exact same way. The rifles are much more intimidating because there's a lot more going on, they're a lot bigger, but they work the exact same way. You take the magazine out, you chamber it back, feed your padlock through the breech, and out the magazine. Once you've locked it, this gun is safe and can no longer be fired. The trigger lock also fits in the same manner, does the exact same thing. So both of these type of locking systems work on both the pistol and the rifle. Here we have the shotgun. It's the exact same thing. All these locking mechanisms work on every platform that I can think of that a regular household person would have. You chamber the gun to make sure it's empty. The gun is empty, you lock it back. Either place your trigger lock on the weapon or your cable lock through the breech, and then you lock it. See, the gun can no longer be racked because the locking mechanism is keeping it safe. One thing that you want to do after you lock your weapon, you always want to take the key and place it somewhere safe that only you know where it's at. You never want to display the key in such a way other people can easily get to it or children can get to it. You want to keep this safe with you at all times in case you ever need to get to the weapon in a quick, short amount of time. Another way of locking these weapons up is either, if you can afford it, is either in a gun safe or a gun cabinet. That's also a good way of keeping your guns out of the reach of children. But if you can't afford those, another way of keeping your gun ready to go, but yet locked up and out of the reach of children, is with a locking case. Most manufacturers sell these cases with their weapons today. You place your weapon inside, you close the case up, close it up, and then you can just simply use either your cable lock on the locking mechanism or a standard padlock, and that will keep anybody from getting into the case. This is one style of case that you can get. This is another style of case. It's a metal case. It works the exact same way. You pop your case open, place your weapon inside, close the lid, clasp your locking mechanism, then either use your cable lock or just a standard padlock. And this will also keep the gun safe and out of the reach of children. One thing that I forgot to mention in the beginning is any time that you're working with any kind of weapon of any platform, be it handgun, rifle, or shotgun, the first thing you want to do is always go over your safety owner's manual. In the manuals, it gives you a descriptive detail of how the weapon is supposed to operate, how to clean it, how to store it, and overall maintenance of the weapon. It's always a good idea to read this thoroughly so that you know what you're working with and how to work with it. You can also go on websites and download brochures and other information on how to properly care for, store, and use your weapons. This is just a small bit of gun safety. There is a lot more that you can find on the internet. I just wanted to share a few little things for people who may be thinking about getting a gun or already have some but did not know about the safety locks. The safety locks themselves are fairly inexpensive. You can get them between $10 and $14, and it's always a good idea to spend that little bit of money to save someone's life. I thank you for watching. See you next time.